Hey everybody, I had planned to do a motorcycle video today, but the weather didn't cooperate. I'm back on overtime again, so I've got one day off a week, and if the weather doesn't cooperate on that day, it just kind of throws everything out. So today it's supposed to be raining on and off, and the visibility isn't real far for what I wanted to do, because I wanted to do something kind of scenic. I was going someplace new, and it just wasn't going to work out. The visibility, you wouldn't have been able to see what I wanted to show you. So I got in some range ammo, so I figured I'd come out to the range, and I just brought a camera along, and I'll talk to you guys again. So I have to make a lifestyle change because, like I said, I carry guns, because my wife is concerned about my safety. I am to an extent. I'm not overly paranoid about it or anything like that. My wife is my wife is very anti-gun. She don't like guns at all. But she insists that I carry one when I leave to go out into the national forest. So, now, if I'm going to spend money on items to protect me and possibly save my life, why am I spending money at the same time on something else that will more than likely kill me way before I have any kind of defensive situation where I need to defend myself? And that is cigarettes. I smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. You might have noticed from me being out of breath riding the motorcycle. And I'm not getting any younger, and it's just, it's taking a toll on me. And so I decided to quit smoking. So that was what because I thought about it. I'm like, does that make any sense? So I have to call myself out as a hypocrite. Here I am talking about defending myself and, essentially saving my own life while I kill myself smoking cigarettes. So, yeah, I had to make a change there. So I quit smoking, and hopefully I can change some eating habits too, because I need to drop some weight. I'm getting a little pudgy, and I need to get back in shape. So I'm going to start exercising a bit more, eating better, no smoking. It's going to be harder for me to give up Mountain Dew than the cigarettes, I think. So, who knows? I had to get into a conversation about how many times have I had to defend myself. And so I'm going to tell 3 stories, because I've had to defend myself from armed attackers 3 times in my life. And all of these took place 25 to 30 years ago, nothing recently. And I chalk that up to the environment I live in now and me being older and wiser than I was when these things happened. Because I was young and stupid. I put myself into some bad situations. One of them I did, but I didn't. The other 2, it was totally avoidable. The first one happened in, bear with, Peoria, Illinois. Now, when I say I was young and stupid, I had a friend who wanted to go buy some weed. I didn't smoke weed. I actually, believe it or not, I've never done drugs of any kind. But he didn't want to go by himself at night to the projects in Peoria to buy weed, and he asked me to go along with him. And me being like, whatever. So both of us go. And as far as I'm aware, neither one of us had a knife. I know neither one of us had a gun, anything like that. So we went to the Harrison Home projects in Peoria. I don't even know if they still exist anymore. And went to go to this apartment where he was going to do his deal. So we go in there, and these people it's a man and a woman. And I don't know what they were on. They were drugged up. I couldn't tell you what they had been taking. But it was clear that they weren't thinking clearly. Well, we get in there, and they didn't have marijuana. They wanted him to buy cocaine. And he's like, I don't want cocaine. I can't afford cocaine. And I'm like, I got maybe $5 on me. And so they end up both pulling guns on us. And so this man and this woman are both druggies, coked out of their minds, whatever they are, whatever they're on. And they look like the typical crackhead, skinny, So you always hear about, from the gun type people. It's like, well, if you got somebody's jacked up on PCP and they weigh 300 pounds, you need, such. No, these people were drug addicts, and they weighed, both of them combined might have weighed 200 pounds. I mean, they were skinny. and small. They weren't, I mean, if it was a fist fight, we'd have demolish these guys. But they've got guns pulled on us now. And so we're like, what the, you know. And so they were trying to extort money from us. And they were wanting like $1,200 or something like that. And we're like, well, we ain't got $1,200. And so, since neither one of us were armed, and like I said, I'm young and everything, I let my mind do the talking. And I was like, how about this? You guys wait here. We'll go get the money and come back, and then everything will be cool. And they're like, yeah, go get that money. We're like, all right, we'll be right back. And we just never went back. So yeah, I had 2 guns pulled on me, and I just outsmarted the retards that were trying to extort money out of me. And that was the end of that one. Second one, also in Peoria, Illinois, I went to the Northwoods Mall. I was on my way to a party, and I was driving my Subaru Brat pickup truck that had jump seats in the back. And I wanted to stop by the mall because the NXS Kick album had come out, if that don't date me. And I was going to buy it on the way to the party. So I'm like one of the only cars in the parking lot. It's closing time at the mall. I whip in real quick, park my truck. I run in, buy my NXS album, come back out, and there's somebody sitting in the jump seats in the back of my truck. And he's on the driver's side. So if the driver's side in America of the vehicle, driver's door here, passenger seat here. The jump seats in the back face the back. So he's on the driver's side facing that way, and I'm coming to the driver's side of the truck. And I'm like, man, what are you doing? And he holds up a knife. He's like, yeah, go ahead and empty your pockets, and I'll take whatever you got in that bag there, too. But he was an idiot, because the Subaru Brat pickup truck didn't have a straight up and down B-pillar behind the door. It has a slanted one that kind of curves and kind of blends into the truck bed. So with him sitting in the seat, holding up a knife, the B-pillar of the truck is like right here. He couldn't do anything if he wanted to. He just trying to be, slick or whatever. He just, give me your shit, And I didn't even think. I grabbed his right hand, which had the knife in it, with my left, and I just went to work on the guy. And I was mad. I was really, I'd have to say in a rage, because I worked this guy over hard. I ended up dragging him out of the truck. I slammed him head first into the pavement. I kicked the shit out of him. I beat the snot out of that guy. Probably, he might have ended up in the hospital. I don't know. I just left him crumpled up looking like Beetle Bailey after Sarge got a hold of him. I worked that guy's ass hard. And I took his knife. And at that time, this will date me too, the Swatch watches were starting to become popular. And he had one on. I was like, oh, I'll take that watch too. So I ended up beating the dude's ass, took his knife, robbed him, took his watch, and drove off in my truck. So that was incident number 2. So I went from the attacked to the attacker. I totally turned the tables on that guy and just beat the brakes off of him. And then robbed him on top of that. Not my proudest moment, but true story. All right. Incident number 3. This is a few years later in Indianapolis, Indiana. My sister was married to another guy, so my brother-in-law. Me and my brother-in-law, I go to visit them. Me and him go downtown Indianapolis, and we're going to do like a pub crawl thing. So it's just me and him bumming around downtown Indianapolis at night on a weekend. Other people are around and stuff too. We're not the only ones downtown. And we were leaving one bar, and we're going to head to another one. And it was like around the other side of the block. And there was an alley. Yeah, and we're like, well, let's take that. It's a shortcut. Why walk all the way down and around? We'll just cut right through. So literally, I walked down the proverbial dark alley in a city in the middle of the night like a moron. So me and him are walking down this dark alley, and we see a group of guys. They're hanging out, and we're going to have to pass through them because some of them are on one side of the alley, some of them are on the other side, and we're going to need to walk past these guys to get through. And we're walking up going, just mind our own business, just go. And I don't know how many there were at least 4, just due to how many I can count. And as we were walking by, I got blasted in the side of the head, and I was down. But I wasn't unconscious or knocked dazed or anything like that. I had all my faculties about me. And I can remember, doing like a push-up, pushing myself up off the ground and seeing a brick laying next to me that had hit me in the head. I'd been just blasted inside the head with a brick. And just my first thought was grab the brick. And so I got up with the brick and grabbed the closest guy, who I assumed threw the brick. And I just ended up just beating the snot out of this guy with this brick. I mean, I'm just beating him over the head. And he's like trying to get away from me. And he finally broke free and started to run. And I took 2 steps in pursuit. And I could see 2 other guys. I remember 2 other guys ahead of him running away as well. So there's 3 of them taking off. And I had started to take a couple of steps in pursuit and realized I wasn't going to catch these guys, for 1. And 2, I probably didn't want to chase them down. So I let them go and turned to my brother-in-law, who was getting his ass whooped. Because the other guy had him up against a wall and was just, pounding on him. And so I turned and I started heading that way with the brick. And the other guy noticed that I was coming and he took off. And that was the end of the incident. So those are my three times I was hit with, or not hit with weapons, but assaulted with some sort of a weapon. 2 guns, 1 knife, and a brick. That's in my civilian life. That military stuff is different. So I'm going to cut this off. So I've probably been rambling on for too long, and I've got to get back to shooting. And you guys are probably tired of listening and hearing them guys shoot. So I will catch you guys next time, and hopefully we can get a motorcycle video in. Hopefully the weather and work will let me do something. What I'm planning to do is go to the mountain. When I did my part 3 of my highway videos and I looked off to the left and I said I'd rather be over there, that's where I'm going, up into those mountains, if I can get the weather to cooperate so we can see from the lookouts and everything. So I'll catch you guys next time, and take care. Bear with. Pure